Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue sur Africa 24 à ce nouveau numéro de décryptage. Les flux illicites d'argent sont une urgence économique pour le continent. La Commission économique de l'Union africaine a d'ailleurs estimé à plus de 50 milliards de dollars les évasions fiscales sur le continent. La raison est que les États peinent à trouver des stratégies individuelles pour endiguer ce phénomène. Une coopération en vue de l'échange d'informations fiscales est donc préconisée. L'organisation Tax Justice Network Africa pointe également l'injustice des mesures tarifaires pratiquées par les États. Et pour en parler dans ce présent numéro de décryptage, nous recevons pour vous M. Alvin Mozioma. Il est le directeur exécutif de Tax Justice Network Africa. Quels sont les principaux défis de votre organisation?
We are the only civil society, regional civil society organization that is fully dedicated to these issues. So the work around capacity building of other actors to be able to engage at the national level. But also what we see sometimes is that governments taking one step forward and two steps backward. So we invest a lot in trying to push particular progressive policy positions and policy agenda.
Pensez-vous qu'une bonne politique fiscale induit une mobilisation efficiente des ressources?
Yes, but not only. I think that of course the main objective is to ensure that governments are raising revenue to finance economic development. That's the main objective. But how that is done is equally important. So it is to ensure that as governments raise revenue, they are raising it in a manner that is equitable. As a matter of fact, a number of our member organizations have that background. Many of them are budget organizations that are largely been focusing on budget transparency, focusing on how the government is spending money. So what we do, we come in and try to expand that envelope and try to encourage organizations to also look at how that money is raised, because it equally matters.
Pourquoi vous intéressez-vous particulièrement à la justice fiscale?
Tax in general is the most sustainable way to finance economic development. If African countries in general to stand on their own feet, we need to end the perpetual dependency on foreign aid, which comes with conditionalities, which sort of undermines the social contract between the state and the citizens. So we believe that taxation should be at the core of economic governance, and therefore, as I said earlier, it's not just a question of raising the money, but it's also creating the contract between a government and citizens. Tax can make government more accountable.
Comment l'Afrique peut-elle atteindre ses objectifs?
Well, this is a complex issue because it has got different dimensions. Usually equate it to a snake with so many heads. Because you might realize our African countries are not operating in a vacuum or in isolation. We are interconnected to a global system, and this global system is largely flawed to the disadvantage of many African countries. What you find that the global financial system, the rules that govern where companies pay their taxes, where they're declaring their profit, has it's been structured in a manner which ensures that majority of not majority, but many of the companies in Africa are shifting their profits, resulting to this phenomenon of illicit financial flows. And this is largely as a result of an unfair global financial system. And so what my organization has been doing has been engaging government. As you might be aware, there is a process that the African governments established called the High-Level Panel, which was led by the former President Thabo Mbeki, which came up with figures that the African continent is losing up to $50 billion as a result of illicit financial flows, as particularly a big chunk of that being resulting from commercial tax evasion and tax avoidance. And to address this problem, I think that there are many things that needs to be done. Civil society have a role to play, governments equally, but also the international actors that have a role to play, particularly if you look at the role that is played by the so-called tax havens or secrecy jurisdictions that have become the magnet for attracting the majority of this illicit finance that is looted or siphoned from the continent. So there are a number of solutions, and I think that one of the key things that we have been pushing for is that tax avoidance and evasion happens because of opacity in the system, because of flawed rules. So apart from making sure that the global rules are made fair, it's also ensuring that we are tackling transparency. We are bringing more transparency, to the financial system through ensuring that we have structures that are companies are more transparent in terms of where they're operating. They are more transparent in terms of the kind of reports they're making, and by ensuring, for example, that they are reporting their profits on a country-by-country basis, that they are publishing publicly who the beneficial owners are. These are some of the transparency demands that we have been making, and we are seeing a few progresses in a number of countries, but it's still an uphill task.
Pensez-vous donc que des avancées ont été réalisées?
At the Africa level, I think that we have seen a number of African governments taking some steps. We have seen countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa legislating what we term as beneficial ownership legislation that makes it mandatory for companies to indicate who their beneficial owners are. We have seen some countries such as Kenya introduce country-by-country reporting mechanism that would make companies more transparent. So we are seeing a few policy steps that some of the governments are taking to either seal the loopholes that facilitate leakages, but also recover the money that has already been stolen and hidden offshore. But that's on the positive side. On the negative side, I think the progress is very slow. We would want to see more progress. We would want to see more political commitment, but also moving beyond just political pronunciation, where governments say we are going to do this, we want to see them putting those pronouncements into actual political action. So it's a long road, but we are making slow progress.